Hey all YouTubers out there, this is Wolf06, and this is going to be the first of many guitar riff videos, because that's generally what I learned to play before anything is guitar riffs. This one right here is one of my favorite guitar riffs that's not too complicated, but it's really, really fun to play. What the song is it's the opening and most of the riff for the song by Alice in Chains, Heaven Beside You. If you don't know that song, you should definitely go listen to it because it's a really fun riff. It sounds better probably on acoustic, even though Jerry Cantrell tends to play it on electric, because that's the way he does his music. But other than that, I mean, it's a really good riff. Now, I have my guitar tuned down a half step, which is actually how he plays it in his recordings. But you can play this in regular if you don't want to play along with the CD or tape or whatever you have it on YouTube, whatever. Now, a lot of people are wondering, how do you tune a half step down? Which is actually one of the biggest problems I had when I was learning guitar, was how do I tune a half step down? Well, I'm going to show you how you can do just that. All it requires is one of these. What this is a capo clip. Generally what you do is you just pick a fret, you put it on there, it makes sounds, right? It's like barring a fret just without your hands having to do that. Well, an easy way to tune a half step down if you're new to tuning is to make sure your guitar is completely tuned in full regular tuning. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put the capo on the first fret. Now, despite some minor distortion and the fact I'm not completely perfectly tuned, that's supposed to sound like regular tuning. Now if you put it on before you tune a half step down, it's going to sound really weird. It's all going to sound sharp. And that's the point. Now what you're going to do is you're going to tune down to regular tuning with the first fret barred by the capo. Now once you take the capo off, it's going to be a half step down or one fret's worth down on the guitar. So now you can play Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains, plenty of stuff that people use is a half step down, and now you can play it exactly like it without having to do some intricate method of tuning. It's just so simple, just capo it, tune, done. Although I would suggest you have a little one of these electric auto-tuner for you kind of thing, like you do it, but still. This way you don't mess up your first time, it doesn't sound like junk if you're trying to impress a girl or something. So here's how the riff sounds up to speed. Now, in the intro he does it twice, but I just wanted to do it up to speed this time. Pretty much it's really simple. Where you're going to start off is you're just going to stroke the open E string. Yes, stroke it. Obviously the half step down, so it's going to be a little lower. That's why. Now what you're going to do after you hit that initial is you're going to hit the 5th fret on the D string, but you're going to wiggle it around, so it's going to sound a little bit like this. And that's the beginning part of that. Now after you do that little wiggle, you're going to want to hit the 7th fret A string. Now I like a little formation, as you can see here, like this. I've got my first finger on the 5th fret the 5th fret E string, and my 3rd finger on the 7th fret A string. Now you're going to see why that is, because after you go, you're going to hit the 7th fret A, 5th fret E, 7th fret A. It's a little threesome there, if you want to call it that. And that's going to fit in together nicely. So you're going to start off, and this is how it sounds so far. Now, yes, you're going to put a little pause there because of the next part. After you hit that last 7th fret A string hit, you're going to hit open D string. Sounds a little weird because my guitar isn't tuned well. If you're wondering why I have a lefty guitar, which is actually supposed to be righty, flipped, it's because my Epiphone SG is in the shop right now because there's bridge problems, so I've got to go ahead and use this thing for now, but it's a Stratocaster basically, it works well. But I digress there, but continue on. You're going to go ahead and you're going to hit the 7th fret. After that last 7th fret, you're going to open it. And that's how it fits in. Now if you're following along so far, it's going to sound like this. Now if you want you can remember this as a triplet as well, because it is. It's kind of two triplets mashed together into a fifthlet, if that's what you want to call it. Pretty much after you hit that wiggling 5th fret D string, it's going to be the 7th fret A, 5th fret D, 7th fret A, open D, and then 7th fret A again. Now after that, you're going to do something that's a little intricate, but I tend to hold this form that I have here like this. You're going to hit the 5th fret E string, and you're going to slide down to the 3rd fret. So it's going to sound a little bit like this. Now, naturally, you're going to want to try to silence the A string as best as possible. Maybe lift your finger up off a little bit and not apply as much pressure, just to mute it, or else it'll bring... And then that's a power chord. That's just really just not what you want. So it's going to be... like that. That's what you're going to want it to be sound like. And it's going to be like... Now, the reason why I want to hold the form is because you're instantly going back to where you had the 7th fret A, 5th fret E. Now it's going to be the 5th fret A and the 3rd fret E. So it's going to be... And naturally, to finish off that riff, you're just going to hit the open D again. Slowly, it sounds like this. And now once again, back to speed, it sounds like this. Well, that's my guitar lesson for the intro to Heaven Beside You. I hope you like it. Comment, like it, subscribe, do whatever you want. And suggest videos that you want of certain guitar songs that you like. Because you might like it and I've never heard of it. And if it's a good riff, I'll do it. This is Wolf 06 signing out. Hope you enjoyed it.